Hello, folks. I'm going to give you all a 1-minute warning, and then we're going to get started in about 1 minute. Thank you. Where's Nancy? So good evening. Can everybody take their seats? I'm Keith Roden. I am the Mayor Pro Tem and also a council member, and it is my great privilege to welcome you here tonight and thank you for joining us for the 2026 State of the City Address. Before we get started, could I ask everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and join me? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. This is a great crowd here tonight. It's so great to see everybody coming out, and it's so good to have some warmer weather after we've had a weekend of that. The annual State of the City Address is an opportunity for us to share some important updates with our community, highlighting some of the great past events that have happened this year and also outlining the vision for our city in this next period. This forum serves as a valuable opportunity for our community to stay informed and engaged. But also tonight we're privileged to have several distinguished guests. I'd like to recognize several of them, and if you wouldn't mind when I call your name, if you would please stand, I would appreciate that. From the Bernie Independent School District, we have Dr. Kristen Kraft, Superintendent. There she is. Thank you. We have Jenny Enderlin from Grant Moody's office. Jenny's over here. And we have Commissioner Doug Leacock, which Comal County Commissioners, right back here. And representing Brigadier General Randy Oakland, commander of the 502nd Air Base Wing in the Joint Base San Antonio, we have Colonel Patrick Miller, the Deputy Commander, representing him. Thank you. We also have from the Bernie Independent School District, Dallas Pipes. Where are you at, Dallas? Thank you. And we have Rich Sena. I see Rich over there as well. In addition, we have David Fairhurst on the Forha HOA President. We have Doug Richardson, also a member and on the Forha Board, and MDD. We have Christian Swarrick. She's also on the Forha Board. Where are you, Christian? There you go. And Joe Dumanol with the Trinity Glen Rose Aquifer. Joe, thank you. So thank you for taking time this evening. Your presence underscores the importance of collaboration and support in our community. So to officially begin this night's program, it's my privilege to introduce Greg Maxton, our city's mayor. And he just took a drink of water, so.
Thank you, Keith. And thanks everyone for being here tonight. Can everybody hear me okay? All right. Thank everybody for joining us here tonight, and especially to those distinguished guests that joined us as part of tonight's evening. We are live broadcasting this, so I don't know how many people we have joining us, but would like to welcome them and thank you for joining us by live broadcast tonight. I do want to recognize a couple of other individuals that Keith did not recognize and that I asked that I get to do these personally. I would like to recognize previous mayors of the city. Cheryl Landman, would you please stand up? The number 3 mayor of the city. Ma'am, thank you for being here tonight. And Gary Manitsas, the number 4 mayor of the city. And sir, thank you for being here tonight also. It's always a pleasure to have both of you at all of our events. And thank you all for taking the time to be here. I'd also like to recognize Susie Richardson that's here tonight. Ma'am, would you please stand up for a second? Most of us know that Susie, the daughter of Ralph Fair Jr., actually grew up here on the ranch. And she's here tonight with her husband, Doug, who did get recognized for his attendance on the 4-H board. But thank y'all both. Y'all are great supporters of the city, and it's always a pleasure to have you here as part of the event tonight. Now, the purpose of this event is to provide residents with an update on what occurred as part of our city in 2025 and what's planned for 2026. You know, as residents, your property tax dollars are used to operate this city. And with that investment comes a responsibility on our part to show transparency and accountability to our residents. Now, I will be covering a lot of topics as part of this presentation tonight, and in some cases, I may not provide all the details that you're looking for. And that's okay. City Council and city staff will be here after the presentation. You can come and ask us any details that you're looking for, or after the meeting tonight, anytime after, please call us. Please contact us by email. Whatever your information, whatever details that you want, please ask us, and we'll provide that information to you. I start this off by saying we have a great city. Everybody agree with that? But at the same time, we do face some real challenges. In our city operations, our focus has been on preserving what works well today while responsibly planning and completing projects that are necessary for the future of Fair Oaks Ranch. Now, Ralph Fair Jr., the father of our city, laid the foundation for this extraordinary community. His dedication to preserving the integrity of this area and fostering a strong sense of community helped shape Fair Oaks Ranch into what it is today. Ralph will continue to miss your presence, your smile, and your stories. I do not know if what we experience today is exactly what Ralph Fair envisioned when he started this journey back in the 1970s, but it has undoubtedly grown into a truly special place that we all get to live in. We are a bedroom community with a variety of thoughtfully designed distinctive neighborhoods throughout our city. We experience the natural beauty of the Texas Hill Country that is highlighted by our iconic oak trees. We have an integrated parks and trail system that connects residents to both nature and to one another. And we have wildlife that continues to thrive throughout our city. We have a centrally located country club that serves as a hub for family activities, fitness, and social gatherings. And we have 2 highly rated school districts that attract many families for their children's education. We are a Tree City USA for the 2nd year, and we currently serve as a Purple Heart City, signifying our veteran community. And we have a rich history of being a working ranch with many of the original facilities still standing as reminders of our roots. Preserving and strengthening these qualities is essential to maintaining the character and the uniqueness of Fair Oaks Ranch, both for those who call it home today and for those who will call it home in the future. These qualities of our city attract individuals of a specific personality that want to live here. These are people who look out for one another, who stop to help one another when they're broken down on the side of the road, or offer a friendly wave to those that are walking along our roads as you drive by. At the end of the day, it's the people and the unique character of our city that makes it Fair Oaks Ranch such a special place that we get to call home. Now, to maintain this character of our city, we focus on 5 priorities. We focus on public health and safety, reliable and sustainable infrastructure, responsible growth management, operational excellence, and financial responsibility. In accomplishing these priorities, there are 3 main groups of people that are committed to ensuring success. This is your city council, your city staff, and our volunteers. And I'd like to take a moment to recognize each of these groups because none of what is accomplished in 2025 or what is planned for 2026 happens by accident. It happens because people choose to serve, they choose to lead, and to invest their time and energy into our community. And first, I'd like to introduce our city council members. And I believe these individuals are true heroes for what they do every day. You've already met Keith Roden, who serves as our Mayor Pro Tem. And additionally, we have council members Emily Stroop, just raise your hands or stand. Dale Pearson, Scott Parker, Jonathan Swarrick, and then we also have Ruben Olvera that could not make it tonight due to family responsibilities. Would you please give them a round of hand for what they do? Now, these individuals have served on the city council over the past year, some of them even longer, dedicating their time and their talents to the city of Fair Oaks Ranch. Their commitment to our community has been extraordinary. These individuals have various backgrounds while bringing different thought processes and knowledge to our team. This has been extremely helpful in making informed decisions for the future of Fair Oaks Ranch. Now, these council members are not only your neighbors. We are all just your neighbors. We're people that live down the street. But they are also elected representatives who have fully taken on their responsibilities with integrity and a genuine desire to serve the residents of our community. The second group of people that I want to talk about who make a direct impact on what happens in our community is our volunteers. The city of Fair Oaks Ranch has a long tradition of residents volunteering to serve the community. In fact, when we started in the early 1970s, the city operated truly on volunteers. We continue that tradition today by engaging and relying on the experience and the knowledge and passion of our residents who generously give their time to serve on committees and support a wide range of community efforts. Today, we have 39 volunteers serving on our city's committees, and this includes our Planning and Zoning Committee, our Municipal Development District, our Capital Improvements Advisory Board, Building Code Board of Appeals, the Zoning Board of Adjustment, and our Transportation Safety Advisory Committee, which just completed its first year of operations. In addition to our standing committees, we have had opportunities to form groups for specific actions or projects and have had no problem filling these with volunteers throughout our city. Additionally, the Fair Oaks Ranch Homeowners Association was the city's original governing body, and it continues to operate today under the volunteer leadership that makes up its board. And I know that David Fairhurst was recognized earlier, but he just took on the responsibilities as the president for FORHA, And I had a note here that I just want to recognize David and thank you for what you're doing and continue to serve our community. So thank you, sir. And I'd like to thank all the volunteers. And as I go around the room tonight and I met everybody out in the lobby, I've seen a lot of people that have volunteered as part of our city and provided their expertise to ensure the future of our community. And I just want to say thank you. We have a great community. And when I talked about the people that are here, it really stands out when we look at the volunteers that participate as part of city operations. And the last group that I want to talk about is our city staff. While the council sets the policy and provides guidance, the true work of the city is carried out by our extraordinary city staff. Behind every decision, every project, and every service delivered to our residents is a team of dedicated staff members. These men and women show up every day with professionalism, expertise, and a genuine care for our community. Every day, these individuals provide the needed services in an extremely personable manner to the residents of Fair Oaks Ranch. Their hard work and commitment makes the city of Fair Oaks Ranch run effectively and efficiently, and for that, I am deeply grateful. Now, the leader of that city team and the CEO of our city operations is our city manager, Scott Husengay. Scott Husengay, I can say without hesitation that he is the right person to serve and lead our city. He cares deeply about the community, he cares about the residents, and he cares about our future. Scott provides steady and effective guidance to our city staff, fostering a culture of professionalism, accountability, and focusing on personable service to our residents. He has built the strongest city staff our community has experienced. Through his leadership, combined with the right temperament, expertise, and experience, Scott continues to successfully manage our operations and move Fair Oaks Ranch forward into the future. Would y'all please welcome Scott Husengay.
Good evening. Mayor Maxton, members of the council, guests, thank you all for being here tonight. And first and foremost, my role this evening is to focus on the people who make this organization work.
Texas Hill Country, just a lot of folks that are nice out here.
You don't feel like you're just an employee, you're just a number, you're just showing up, but you can have a genuine, nice conversation to everybody in the whole city.
I chose to come to the city of Fair Oaks Ranch because I'm a resident here and I wanted to do something meaningful for my community.
Again, like the family aspect of the city is I would say one of, if not my favorite aspect where.
So it's a family type of event, right? Our HR team is amazing to talk to about any and everything. All of our people in the front desk, whether it's the admin, the clerk, the building inspectors and everything like that, they're amazing just to talk with, assist and everything like that. All our police officers, our chief and lieutenant.
I actually really enjoy working with residents of the city of Fair Oaks Ranch. They're friendly, they're kind, and being a resident here, I treat them the way that I would expect to be treated as a resident. So I really enjoy interacting with them.
My name is Hunter Hickman, and I've been working for the city for 4 years, and I'm the building inspector for the city of Fair Oaks Ranch.
Hi, my name is Andrea Cervantes. I've been working here for 2.5 years and I am the finance specialist.
My name is Rachel Brown, and I am the Building Codes Administrative Assistant, and I've been with the city a little over 8 years.
Hi, folks. I'm Officer Lewis with the Fair Oaks Ranch Police Department.
I'm Markel Locks. We help each other get better for the city. That's essentially what it is. That's why I love it the most.
Fair Oaks Ranch operates with a relatively small staff. That means that there's little room for silos or missed handoffs. When something needs attention, someone steps in, often quietly, often outside their job description, and the work gets done. I've worked in cities both large and small, and I say this a lot, but I truly mean it. Pound for pound, this is the best, most productive staff I have ever worked with. That judgment comes from watching how people show up every day, not just during big projects or visible moments, but in the routine work that residents rely on and rarely see. Over the past year, that work has been recognized through independent awards and consistent positive feedback from residents. So here's just a quick summary of the awards, accolades, and recognitions of our staff over the last year. First, the Finance Department earned the GFOA Triple Crown Award for the 4th consecutive year. Only a small number of governments nationwide receive all 3 of GFOA's highest recognitions in the same year. The City Secretary's Office received the Texas Municipal Clerks Association Achievement of Excellence Award for the 2nd time. This award reflects consistent excellence in elections administration, records management, and statutory compliance. Our municipal court also received recognition this year for professional excellence and community engagement. Judge Daryl Dolnig was featured in the Texas Bar Journal and the Journal podcast. Ricardo Bautista, court administrator, achieved Court Clerk Level 2 certification through the Texas Court Clerks Association. And the court established Youth Court Day as an annual outreach program to educate students and residents about the municipal court process. In Human Resources, Joanna Merrow received the Texas Municipal Human Resources Association Lone or Almost Alone Ranger of the Year Award. That's a mouthful. This recognized her leadership across a broad scope of responsibilities, including launching the police cadet program, leading the city's compensation study, and modernizing citywide HR policies and communications. Speaking of communications, Casey Parker received the Texas Association of Municipal Information Officers, or TAMIO, Award for Excellence for the city's e-newsletter, recognizing outstanding municipal communications at the statewide level. In Development Services, Hunter Hickman, who you just saw in the video, is our building codes inspector, easy for me to say. He was elected to the board of directors of the Alamo chapter of the International Code Council. In engineering and project management, Kelsey Delgado earned her project management professional certification, becoming the city's first PMP certified project manager. And at the executive level, Carol Van Zant earned her designation as a credentialed manager by the International City County Management Association. That brings the city's leadership team to 3 credentialed managers, along with Assistant City Manager Jim Williams and myself. The police department received multiple commendations and life-saving recognitions this year for professionalism, effective de-escalation, compassionate follow-up, and emergency response. In addition to individual recognitions, the police department's community engagement team was recognized for record attendance and execution of major events, including Trunk or Treat, National Night Out, and the Star Viewing Party. And then we did our holiday outreach programs as well, including Blue Santa and Silver Santa, and Christmas and the Ranch that we just had last month. Across our utilities and maintenance division, staff were repeatedly recognized by residents, which is, of course, our most important peer review process. They were recognized for responsiveness during emergencies and after-hours incidents. This included immediate action by folks such as Garrett Sharp and Will Poole and Clint Kerperick during a hazardous roadway event on Dietz Elkhorn Road that likely prevented a serious accident. Juan Munoz, Jarrett Lee, and others were individually called out for their follow-through and tireless, often all-night responses to emergencies and hazards. Residents consistently cite professionalism, communication, and follow-through. All of these accomplishments are grounded in the city's core values: community, collaboration, and ownership. What matters most to us about these values is where they came from. They were not written by leadership or by consultants. They came from employees, your city staff. And they asked a simple question: what are the behaviors that matter here in this city, in our organization? Now, leadership has wholeheartedly embraced and promoted these values, but they started with the people doing the work. Community means serving with purpose and integrity, placing the public interest first. Collaboration means working openly and respectfully across departments and roles. And ownership means stepping up, taking responsibility, and seeing work through. These values are not aspirational. They describe how this organization already operates, and they are reflected clearly in how employees recognize one another. So before I turn to the Employee of the Year, I want to recognize the employees of the quarter from the past year. These recognitions matter because they highlight excellence throughout the year, not just at the end. They reflect moments when someone stepped up, took ownership, and made a measurable difference. So our quarter one winner was Mark Costa, a maintenance technician. Our quarter two recipient was Casey Parker, a communications officer. Quarter three recipient was Will Poole, our water supervisor. And our quarter four awardee was Sarah Klobosky, animal services officer. If I could get a quick hand for all these quarterly winners, I appreciate it. They were recognized by their peers as individuals who embodied our core values and went above and beyond. So that brings us to our Employee of the Year. The nominations for this special award were detailed and thoughtful and strongly tied to our values of community, collaboration, and ownership. I wish I had time to read them all tonight, but we had 8 employees who were nominated for this special honor, including 2 nominees who were also quarterly winners. Those nominees are Brian Wright, Patrol Officer; Clinch Kerperick, Maintenance Supervisor; Casey Parker, Communications Officer; Jarrett Lee, Utilities Operator; Amanda Valdez, Deputy City Secretary; Kelsey Delgado, Project Manager; Michael Maddox, Police Sergeant; and Sarah Klobosky, Animal Services Officer. These nominations describe people who consistently show up, support their teammates, and take responsibility when the work is difficult or unclear. The strength of this group is the reason that the Employee of the Year decision becomes harder and harder every single year. But with all that said, our Employee of the Year is, drum roll please, Amanda Valdez. Amanda was nominated multiple times by colleagues from across the organization, and that breadth of dedication matters. One colleague wrote that when people come to Amanda with a question, she doesn't just provide an answer, she immediately takes action to resolve the issue. Another noted that even when handling complex and time-sensitive Public Information Act requests, she approaches the work with calm professionalism and care, helping people understand the process rather than simply moving them along. Several nominations also emphasize trust. They described Amanda as someone the organization relies on to show up, follow through, and support others, without making them feel like an interruption. One colleague wrote that she meets every question with kindness and helpful responses. Amanda's work has also been recognized externally within the profession. Beyond the Municipal Clerk's Achievement of Excellence Award I mentioned earlier, Amanda was nominated for the Texas Deputy Municipal Clerk of the Year Award by the Alamo chapter of the Municipal Clerks Association. She was named to the General Code Municipal Clerks Honor Roll, with that recognition timed during Municipal Clerks Week. Amanda manages some of the city's most technical, deadline-driven, and legally sensitive work. She does it with precision and judgment. At the same time, she contributes to the culture of the organization, supporting other departments, mentoring coworkers, and strengthening morale through her involvement in employee initiatives. What stands out most is not one project or one moment, it is sustained performance over time. Consistency, reliability, the quiet work that keeps an organization functioning well. So for these reasons, it is my honor to announce and present Amanda Valdez as the City of Fair Oaks Ranch Employee of the Year. Congratulations. Thank you again to Amanda, and thank you to the entire city staff for how you support one another and this community. The reason this award becomes harder every year is because of the standard you set for yourselves and for each other. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Scott, and congratulations to you, Amanda. It's a big honor being chosen as the Employee of the Year, but fully deserved on your part. You know, what stands out to me as we went through it, and we're talking about those that do the actions for our city, and we were talking about the city staff. And Scott outlined all of the recognitions that they received, and not only do they get honored and recognized here at our city level, but many of those recognitions were at the state or even higher level. And it just amazes me that at those levels, our city staff is being recognized. And it just talks about the level of what they achieve every day. So thank you all very much, our city staff, for the personable service that you provide to our residents. Now, when I made the introductions earlier, I have to backtrack a little bit. I left one person off, and it was my mistake. I did introduce Gary Menezes as the mayor, number 4. What I failed to do miserably was introduce his wife, Dee Menezes, who is here tonight with him and is currently just elected as the vice president of the Fair Oaks Ranch Homeowners Association. I apologize deeply, Dee. You do so much for our community, and it's a failing on my part, but thank you for being here tonight. It'll never replace your fudge. All right, so you met the people that make things happen for our city, so let's talk about how we determine our work priorities. At its core, the process is pretty straightforward. We focus on maintaining and taking care of the good parts of our city that are already in great shape, while also addressing the challenges we must solve to prepare for the future. A good example of this approach is our streets. We have an exceptional program for maintaining the streets within our city. At the same time, there are streets where routine maintenance is no longer sufficient and major reconstruction is required. Once these roads are reconstructed, that roadway will be moved into our regular maintenance cycle, allowing us to preserve it as a high-quality street for years to come. Every project I will discuss tonight follows this same model, addressing today's challenges with a clear focus on the future, while continuing to maintain what is already working well for our city. Over this time, the balanced approach positions us to shift more towards a maintenance mode, ensuring long-term sustainability for our city. Now, we're guided in determining the city's annual needs and projects by our five core priorities that I mentioned earlier: public health and safety, reliable and sustainable infrastructure, responsible growth management, financial responsibility, and operational excellence. Now, each year, City Council and city staff go through a structured process to determine the city's needs and to build the budget for the upcoming fiscal year. We begin by reviewing the strategic plan, which is organized around the 5 core priorities and identifies the needs for the city over the next 5 years. Those identified needs are then incorporated into a 5-year financial plan to understand the cost associated and the long-term impacts. This financial plan provides a projected property tax rate for each of the 5 years that we are looking at and allows council and staff to make informed adjustments to the strategic plan as needed to maintain a responsible and sustainable tax rate for our residents. From there, the first year of the 5-year financial plan is then further refined into the specific goals, objectives, and projects for the upcoming year, which ultimately establishes the property tax rate that will be set for the upcoming fiscal year. Now, that was a long process and probably highly detailed manner in talking about what we go through, and probably more information than you wanted to know. But the piece I wanted you to take through from this I emphasize this because this is not a haphazard process. It is a thoughtful and deliberate process that your city council and your city staff go through each year. The initiatives I will discuss tonight are the result of careful planning, long-term analysis, and a clear focus on our 5 core priorities. Now, we are currently in the process of updating our strategic plan. You may have seen the notices that went out last week. And we had a lot of residents that participated as part of this, as part of our stakeholders group, our open houses, and our steering committee. And again, shows the involvement of our residents and their commitment to our future and understanding that we make the right decisions and we have the right focuses that we need so that we move forward as part of our strategic plan. So again, thank you to our volunteers. Now, one of our 5 core priorities is financial responsibility. We have an extraordinary finance department as part of our city staff. The highly professional team is led by our director, Summer Fleming, who is sitting in the back and probably does not want to be recognized. Summer has elevated our city's ability to project finances while maintaining a comprehensive approach with accuracy and transparency as part of the process. As Scott Husingay mentioned earlier, our finance department was awarded the 3 recognitions from the Government Finance Office Association, where they achieved the Triple Crown for the 4th consecutive year. And just to give you a little bit what the impact of this is, these awards are presented to eligible governments across the United States and Canada. This year, approximately 400 governments earned the Triple Crown distinction, which is out of 90,000 governments across the U.S. and Canada. And it really talks about the significance of what our finance team does for us every day. And as part of our city practices each year, we conduct a city audit. The results of this year's audit found a clean audit with no significant issues. Overall, the audit reaffirmed the strength of our internal controls, our accounting practices, and our financial management. Additionally, this year, our city received a AA+ bond rating, reflecting strong financial management and reinforcing our commitment to fiscal responsibility. This is the 2nd highest bond rating that a city can receive. And if I'm right, I believe that we cannot receive the highest rating because of the size of our city and the finance structure we go through. So ultimately, at our level right now, we did receive the highest bond rating that we can get. And while bond ratings are a designed measure to measure risk for investors, they also provide a clear and independent indicator of the overall financial strength and management practices of our city. And our finance team continues to promote transparency. We always want to be visible, everything that we're doing day to day to our residents. Several years ago, they introduced the popular annual financial report, which is a condensed information of the comprehensive report, which is about this thick. But this year, our finance department introduced the Budget in Brief, which is a straightforward overview of our city's budget outlined in an 8-page document. All of these financial documents that that are developed by our financial team can be found on the city's website, one through the financial tab, or just search for any of the financial documents and you can find them. We are committed to transparency to our residents. We continually look for grant opportunities to get funding to support our city operations. This year, the finance department was approved for a $78,000 IT grant from the state of Texas. And that money will be utilized to replace the aging IT equipment as part of our city staff operations. Additionally, our finance department continues to actively request and secure funding from the state of Texas to offset the cost of property tax exemptions for our disabled veterans. Now, while we honor those who were permanently injured in the course of their military service, this reimbursement ensures the associated tax burden is not shifted to other residents within our city. And finishing up financial responsibility, I'd like to talk a little bit about our tax rate. This year, City Council approved a tax rate of 28.53 cents. This is the same rate that was approved for last year. Since 2021, City Council has reduced the property tax rate from a 37 cents to its current rate, which is approximately a 25% reduction. Now, there are other factors that go into determining the property tax rate, but we do have one of the lowest property tax rates for a city of our size and the services that we provide. And probably in the state of Texas, one of the lowest city tax rates. This is accomplished through our long-term planning. We have better predictability to address the projects and the quality services required while maintaining this low tax rate. In tonight's presentation, you'll see how our property tax dollars are being used to deliver the services and invest in the future of our community. Of the five core priorities that I mentioned, the next that I'd like to address is public health and safety. I believe this is our number one priority. This year, Fair Oaks Ranch ranked as the 16th safest city in the state of Texas. It's an improvement from 34th last year, and this ranking is taken out of the 1,900 cities that are considered statewide and consistently places us in the top 1 or top 2% of the safest cities across the state. Additionally, we continue to get recognized as the safest city in the greater San Antonio area, a distinction that we have held for many years. Our police department is made up of phenomenal police officers, and it is a major reason for our strong safety ranking. As residents, we continue to experience the rapid response times when police services are needed by our residents. This year, the average department response time to residents was 3 minutes. I think it was 3 minutes and 1 second. And that's overall average. In emergency responses, it was 2 minutes. From receiving a call until having a police presence on your doorstep. 2 minutes. Our officers are consistently the first responders on scene. And again this year, we were proud to award life-saving badges to 2 of our officers in recognition for their efforts to save the lives of residents within our city. Our police department operates both day and night shifts with 4 patrol vehicles deployed through the city on each shift. Officers spend about 60% of their time responding to calls from residents and 40% of their time in traffic management. This year, our residents responded to 5,312 calls from residents from within our city. It just talks about the breadth of what they do for our community. Our officers also spend a lot of time ensuring safe conditions on our streets, conducting over 3,700 traffic stops over the past year. What stood out to me as part of this is during those 3,700 traffic stops, only 76% of them received warnings, with the other 24% receiving citations. This approach to me reflects their focus on promoting safety and education and not on the number of tickets that can be issued. We are extremely fortunate to have Police Chief Todd Smith as our Chief of Police here in the city of Fair Oaks Ranch. Chief, please raise your hand. In just 1 year of service as the leader of our public safety for the city of Fair Oaks Ranch, we have seen a noticeable increase in the professionalism, personable service, and leadership throughout our police department. Chief Smith introduced the motto, "We go first." You may have introduced it, but I believe it was decided on by the entire police department. But it's displayed on all the vehicles. You can see it there in the picture. But all of our patrol vehicles display this motto, and it carries a double meaning for what our police department does for us every day. And we go first. Obviously, it carries that our officers will go into danger first to protect our residents. But the second meaning that it carries is our officers will be the first to engage with residents to break those communication barriers between our officers and the community. Now, we believe in having a personal relationship between our police officers and our community. Residents should know our police officers, and our police officers should know our residents. And we're getting a lot better at it. Thank you guys for what you do every day. That open and trusting relationship plays a significant role in keeping our city safe. By having a relationship between officers and our community, it removes hesitation about calling the police when something doesn't seem right. Our residents also are the ones who see what's happening throughout our community every day. You know when something doesn't look right in your community, next door or down the street. Those extra set of eyes and ears help our officers respond quickly and effectively. And having that open communications to know that you can call our officers and our police department is going to respond, provides that integrity, that community, that amount of safety that we need as part of our city. Now, I talked about community engagement is important because we want to develop that relationship between police and community. And so we have lots of community engagement events throughout the year. The primary purpose of the events is to give residents opportunities to meet and interact with our police officers. At the same time, these events provide fun and family-friendly experiences that bring the community together. This year's events included Santa on the Ranch, which was conducted jointly with the Fair Oaks Ranch Homeowners Association and was a premier event for community engagement this year. We also have our Junior Police Academy, our Citizens Police Academy, Shop with a Cop, the Blue Santa Toy Drive, working with the Boy Scout troops. We had a star viewing party that's sponsored by the police, but the UTSA astronomy program really ran the operation. What they set up during that, you could actually see the rings around Saturn through their telescopes. It was phenomenal. We do Trunk or Treat, National Night Out. They participated in market days, Coffee with the Cop, and we had the Pup Timber event. All efforts to introduce our police officers to residents and provide our residents an opportunity to engage with police officers. We do have crime in our city. It's low, but this year we did have several vehicles that were stolen, and we had several items that were taken from vehicles within our city. In all of these cases, the vehicles were left unlocked, and the vehicles that were stolen had the keys left inside them. Yeah, we kind of laugh, right? But isn't it great that we feel like we live in a community where we feel safe enough to do that? Unfortunately, it also creates opportunities for individuals coming from outside of our city for opportunities to commit crimes. For us, by taking the small steps of locking our vehicles, we protect ourselves and our personal property. More importantly, we want these groups coming from outside of our city to know that when they do come inside our city, there are not easy opportunities for crime. So please help us lock your vehicles and don't leave the keys in the vehicle. Now, Chief Smith asked me to share some information with an increase in phone scam alerts that are going on, not just in our city, but around our area. And currently, there is an ongoing scam in which callers are impersonating police officers, claiming the victim owes money and threatening their arrest if payment is not made. Our police department will never call to request payment over the phone or instruct anyone to use some easy payment method. If you receive any suspicious communications, please just contact our police department. They will verify it for you if it's legitimate or not, and if not, they will investigate it and ensure that we get the information out to other residents so that they're aware of what's going on. Now, moving on, this year we did celebrate the retirement of our K-9 officer, Buddy. He's gone to live with his dog handler, Officer Magnus. And we also introduced K-9 Vox to the city's police department. Vox has been at, he's probably been at all of our community engagement events. He loves people. He has attended the elementary schools on multiple occasions, and he really enjoys seeing the kids, and overall they have a great time together. Recently, the city did install new radar feedback signs at several locations throughout the city. You may have seen them. They were installed a couple weeks ago. They're on Fair Oaks Parkway, Pimlico, Meadow Creek Trail, and the western edge of Dietz Elkhorn Road. These signs are proven to be effective in slowing traffic down that is traveling above the posted speed limit. In this past summer, the city installed 7 flock camera safety cameras at the major entry points into the city of Fair Oaks Ranch. The purpose of installing these cameras is to further enhance security within our city. These cameras capture an image of the rear of the vehicle as it passes by, and they do not capture pictures or information of individuals that are in the vehicle. The license plate information is immediately checked against the law enforcement database for vehicles of interest. If a match is identified, an alert with the vehicle information and the location is sent directly to our police officers in real time. We are currently working with TxDOT to install 2 additional cameras at the north and the south entrances to our city along Ralph Fair Road. And in addition to the real-time alerts that we receive as part of the flock camera system, the images captured can also assist in our ongoing criminal investigations. In September 2025, the city entered into a 10-year agreement with the Bexar County Emergency Services District to provide fire protection and emergency medical services for our residents. You will no longer see Leon Springs Volunteer Fire Department or Acadian ambulance vehicles within our city limits. The contract with Bexar County ESD does represent a significant cost increase to our city operations. We did evaluate all options prior to entering this agreement. And even with the cost increase, contracting with the ESD was determined to be the most cost-effective option while also delivering the highest level of emergency services to our community. And we are pleased to welcome Chief Jack Andrade, who is the new ESD Fire Chief, who will oversee the needed fire protection and the emergency medical services needed for the city of Fair Oaks Ranch. And Chief couldn't make it tonight. I know he wanted to be here. We would have liked to have introduced him to our community, but we will find time at some of our other community engagement events that we can get Chief Andrade to attend. Now, one of the city's core requirements is to be prepared to respond to quickly and effectively during emergencies. This includes planning for natural disasters, severe weather events, major accidents, and other situations that threaten public safety. As part of our emergency response, we coordinate closely with the Texas Division of Emergency Management and are linked with the Bexar County Emergency Operations Center. Over the past year, the city conducted multiple exercises of our emergency operations plan. This past week, we put that planning into action during the winter storm that we experienced over the weekend. During this recent event, many of our public works employees spent multiple nights on site to keep roads passable, ensure that our water systems remained operational, and maintain continuous operations of our wastewater treatment plant. Now, preparation for this storm event began over a week before the storm arrived. You should have great confidence in your city staff's ability to meet these challenges, and it is the same professionalism, their dedication, and their commitment that they demonstrate on a daily basis. Now, during emergency conditions, the city communicates primarily through the Regroup notification platform. This service allows residents to receive emergency alerts and high-priority notifications by phone call, text, or email. Now, residents must complete a one-time sign-up to receive these messages. And if you haven't signed up, you can scan this QR code and sign up right now while you're sitting in your seats. I cannot stress enough how important it is to have at least one member of every household signed up as part of Regroup. During an emergency condition, the city must have a reliable way to communicate with our residents that's quick and direct. Currently, only about 1/3 of our residents are signed up for this service. I'll just stress that if it's possible we have a tornado that goes through the middle of Fair Oaks Ranch, we have to have the means to communicate with our residents. And signing up for Regroup is that means. If you don't sign up right now, we do have cards in the back as you depart, and you can go to the city's website. On the home page, the ability to sign up is right there. Please help me. Please sign up, and please stress to your neighbors that we need everyone to sign up for Regroup. All right. I've talked about financial responsibility, and I've talked about our core responsibility of health and safety and welfare. The next priority that I want to speak about is responsible growth management. Now, I started this presentation tonight talking about the unique characteristics of our city. And as development occurs, we need to ensure that it maintains the character of Fair Oaks Ranch, and managing future growth is a primary concern for your city council and our city staff. We currently have about 2,000 acres of undeveloped land within our city limits. And even though growth seems to continue at a rapid pace down the I-10 corridor, it has extremely slowed down within our city limits. This past year, we had 44 new home permits. And to give you some relationship to that, that is down from previous years where we saw that number close to 200 new homes being built each year. The developments in the Arbors, Front Gate, and Elkhorn Ridge are all completed. And currently, the development at Stoke Creek Ranch is the only ongoing development that we have in the city. And they are finishing up their last phase. We do have 2 new developments that will begin construction this year. They are Oak Bend Estates and Post Oak. Both of these developments originated with a development agreement that was put in place over 10 years ago. And just recently, we were able to update these development agreements with their respective developers, in both cases, agreeing to terms that were beneficial to the city. Now, Oak Bend Estates is located on Ralph Fair Road, and it will be directly across Ralph Fair Road from the Setterfeld subdivision. This development will be 110 homes on 1-acre lots. The developer recently updated his development agreement to reduce the number of lots in the subdivision to protect the karst features, the cave openings, within that development. This developer for Oak Bend Estates has already started clearing portions of the land to put in the roadways and the utilities. And my guess throughout the year, we will see more as this development continues. Now, Post Oak is the second development. It's located on Ammon Road, directly across from Stone Creek Ranch. This development was previously known as the Reserve. It's on 330 acres, and the property was previously slated for 645 homes. The new developer has approached the city with the mindset of building something that was more within the character of what we want as part of the future of Fair Oaks Ranch. And he has reduced the number of lots in this development from 645 to 227. These will be custom homes built within this community, and they will also be on a minimum of 1 acre lots. The developer in this process, the developer for Post Oak, right now is continuing to submit his documents for final approval for construction of his Phase 1 development. He has 4 phases as part of it. This will be Phase 1, and I anticipate that we'll see construction beginning in this area later this year. Now, following these 2 developments, any future development will be required to meet the protections that were put in place by previous councils of our city government. And primarily this means that they have to abide by the zoning and by the Unified Development Code that we have as part of our city operations. The Unified Development Code, or UDC, is a regulatory document that provides for all the specifics for future developments. And what it basically outlines for our city is a Fair Oaks Ranch aesthetic. It's what we want our city to look like. The Planning and Zoning Commission this year completed a 3-year review of the Unified Development Code, and that review was then further approved by our city council. Any further developments must abide by our zoning and what we have as part of our Unified Development Code. We do have one developer that is looking at a development on the Corley Tract, which is a property located along Ralph Fair Road, around and behind the Fisher's Convenience Store. The project has an approved concept plan which includes a mix of 1 acre lots, which will be along Ralph Fair Road, additional commercial buildings that will be built around the current convenience store, and then townhomes which will be built further east on Dietz Elkhorn Road, down the hill closer to Camp Bullis. The townhomes are for purchase, with part of the townhome development being reserved for an over 50 community. The plan reflects a thoughtfully designed, high-quality neighborhood. Currently, the sale of this land for this development is being held up in the courts, which is preventing the development from moving forward. I don't know what the outcome of the ownership of this land will be, but if it does come to a point that this development does move forward, we will ensure that we get this information out to our residents. Now, many of the residents have asked about the construction of the Montessori school located along Leslie Pfeiffer Road. It's directly behind the Velocity Shell Station on the I-10 access road. This is still an active development, although the owner of the property has had some challenges in completing the development. But our city staff has been working closely with the owner and monitoring the progress of this project. In the same area, construction has begun on the new restaurant that is being built along the I-10 access road. The restaurant will be called Cinco de Mayo and was described as a Mexican restaurant. It's directly across the street from the Shell Station along the I-10 access road. My guess, it's already being built. The frame for the structure is going up, and they believe they'll be open the first of summer, but at least by the end of summer, I believe they'll be open for operations, for meals. Now, the fourth priority that I want to talk about tonight is reliable and sustainable infrastructure. And this is probably the one that we see most as residents throughout our city. It's the great roadways, water, wastewater services, and our stormwater management. We do have a great program for managing the nearly 60 miles of roadways that we have throughout our city. Each year, these roadways are evaluated for wear and tear and determine which roads need to be treated and with what treatment that needs to be applied. This has done a great job in keeping our roads at an overall condition index of 85 or higher, which is the goal of your council and our city staff. One of the road treatments that is applied is fog seal, and we are transitioning some of this to be accomplished by our maintenance team as part of the city staff, and doing this in-house will save us money on future contracts and allow us some flexibility in treating our roads. Now, 2 years ago, the city did pass a road bond that focused on the reconstruction of 4 roads within our city. All 4 of these roads were so damaged that any routine maintenance would be ineffective. The first road was the Battle Intense, and it was that portion of Battle Intense between Cibolo Trails and Keeneland. And this year, we did complete the reconstruction of that portion of the road, completing the first project of our road bond. Dietz Elkhorn was also one of the road bond projects. It is the part of Dietz Elkhorn between Ralph Fair Road and Fair Oaks Parkway. The design for this reconstruction has been completed, which will be similar to the current road that we experience in this area, but will include a 5-foot shoulder on the south side of the road, meaning that we'll have 5-foot shoulders on both sides of the road now. Along with the replacement of the road, all needed drainage improvements will be completed along this road. And if you drive down it now and look at the drainage, it's not in great condition. I'll just leave it at that. It does need to be improved. I anticipate that construction as part of the Dietz Elkhorn Road will start this summer. And it will take over 12 months to complete this construction. I know that this is going to create traffic issues in our city. I know it. And there will be many concerns related from residents about how we could do this better. Please know that we have a lot of things to take into account of how the project can be conducted, how we leave access to Summit Ridge and the circle that's on there also, that the only access that those residents have to their homes is through Dietz Elkhorn Road. There's a lot that goes into consideration. As part of this, there will always be an eastbound lane during the reconstruction of Dietz Elkhorn. You can always travel from the Parkway to Ralph Fair Road eastbound. There will be detours for westbound traffic. I say all this because it will be painful. I got it. I understand it. I mean, we had the Parkway blocked off for 6 months, and that was painful. This is going to be a year, and it is one of the primary connector streets within our city. Please bear with us. We'll get the road repaired. It'll be a brand new road, and we'll get it into our maintenance program, and it will be a great road for our city well into the future. So please just bear with me as we go through this reconstruction. The reconstruction of Ammon Road, which is our third road bond reconstruction project, is that portion of Ammon Road that is within our city limits. It is that portion between Ralph Fair Road and the northernmost curve on Ammon Road. This new roadway is currently in design, and I anticipate construction beginning on this road about a year from now, in 2027. And the reconstruction of Rolling Acres Trail is the last road bond project, and it is that portion of Rolling Acres Trail between Ammon Road and Flagstone Hill. We just approved to start design of this road, and I anticipate construction beginning on it in 2028. Now, we have one last road that we're looking at for reconstruction, and that is Old Fredericksburg Road, which we should see reconstruction on it sometime this summer, and I believe it'll take 3 to 4 months to complete. Now, this is the portion of Old Fredericksburg Road that runs from the I-10 access road and to Dietz Elkhorn Road. It's that road that's behind the Sherman-Williams paint store. This road is currently not within our city limits, but the residents that live along the east side of that road are residents of the city of Fair Oaks Ranch. Now, we have worked with Bexar County and developed a cost-sharing agreement to complete this project, mainly working with Grant Moody's office, who Jenny is here representing tonight. Fair Oaks Ranch will be responsible for 1/3 of the cost of this reconstruction project, with Bexar County picking up the remainder of the funding. Once this project is completed, we anticipate we will annex this road within our city limits, and then that road will then fall within our maintenance programs for the future. And City Council will consider adding a hybrid left turn lane on the northbound side of Fair Oaks Parkway at the intersection into Front Gate. The purpose of adding the hybrid left turn lane is to eliminate the stacking of cars that happens on Fair Oaks Parkway that occur behind vehicles that are trying to make the left turn into the Front Gate subdivision. City Council still needs to do full consideration of this project, but if approved in February, I anticipate that we will start construction on this project sometime in the spring. Now, I do get a lot of questions about the TxDOT bridge on Ralph Air Road over the Cibolo Creek. TxDOT, they've given us lots of dates that they were going to meet, and they've met every one. The last one that they gave me is that they will finish this project in April of this year. And so I anticipate that they are on track to finish the bridge and open both lanes of traffic on both sides of the bridge. As part of this, TxDOT just completed a traffic survey along Ralph Air Road and explained to us that when they open the bridge, that they anticipate, as part of the traffic study, lowering the speed limit on Ralph Air Road to 50 miles an hour. And that will be that portion of Ralph Air Road between Ammon Road and the entrance gate that goes into Camp Stanley. And because after Camp Stanley, as you go down to I-10, it goes down to 45. I get a lot of questions about the widening of Ralph Air Road also. TxDOT still has plans to widen this road. It will be conducted in 2 phases. The first phase is from I-10 up to Old Paseo Way. In general, from I-10 up to Old Paseo Way, it's going to be, I believe, 6 lanes of traffic with a turnaround lane in that location. Past the entrance to Camp Stanley up to Old Paseo Way, the plan is, with the design that they currently have, is 4 lanes of traffic with a center turn lane when needed. That's the good news. Design has been completed, but this project has not been funded. And so I don't anticipate any construction happen as part of this project for the next 5 years. The second phase of widening Ralph Air Road is from Old Paseo Way all the way to State Highway 46. That preliminary design, because it hasn't been designed yet, is what they're looking at is 4 lanes of traffic with a center turn lane as part of that. It is that portion that goes through the city of Fair Oaks Ranch. is part of that design. And my concern with some of that design is really what's going to happen at the intersection of Dietz Elkhorn and Ralph Fair Road. I know they've had several options that they're looking through, but it's also what that design is going to look like at State Highway 46. Still under design. This project is not funded either, and I don't see construction starting on this project for at least 10 years, and I would anticipate somewhere closer to 12 to 15 years. So it will be some time before we see the widening of Ralph Fair Road within our city. No doubt that water is a critical resource for our area. The city has individuals who receive water through their own wells. We have some residents that receive it through saws, with the remaining receiving it through our own city water utility. The city water utility receives 60% of its water through GBRA, and the remainder coming for the 40% coming from the 42 wells within our city limits. Well, actually, we have wells outside our city limits, but the 42 wells. We have seen extreme drought conditions since 2022, and during this time period have always been in the exceptional drought condition, and even during time periods gone to the highest level of extreme. We went through a similar drought period like this from 2006 to 2012. And unfortunately, our city sits in the middle of the drought area within the state of Texas. Yeah, yes. We manage water use during droughts through a drought contingency plan. I would like to thank residents for complying with the water use limitations during the past year, while we have been in stage 2, which seems like 2 to 3 years now, as part of our drought contingency plan. This does allow us to manage the water availability. We do regular checks, water availability in the aquifer by measuring the height in our monitoring wells. And that's what this graph shows. We are currently at 1,040 feet, 41 feet above sea level. We are in good shape right now. We have been higher and we have been lower of this water level during the current drought that we are experiencing. Now, while water availability is a major concern, the ability to distribute that water to residents is an additional concern for our city. Most of the projects that I'm going to talk about are to improve the distribution capability of water throughout our city. We are looking at replacing a water line along the Dietz Elkhorn Road. The requirement for a larger water line was identified for future needs. We have decided to replace this water line now and combine this with the project for the reconstruction of Dietz Elkhorn Road. Knowing that we're going to need the water line in the future and we're going to tear up the road, let's do them together instead of putting in a new road and then tearing out the road later to put in the water line. We are finishing up projects for water line replacements that were conducted in Raintree Woods, and we're working on one right now on Rolling Acres. Both of these points were identified where we had multiple water line breaks and determined that putting in new water lines would be more efficient and probably cost effective than repairing them each year. And so the ones in Raintree Woods have already been completed, and I believe the one along Rolling Acres is in progress now and should be completed by the end of the month. The city is moving forwards with plans to build an elevated storage tank, or it's called a water tower, on the north side of the ranch. The location is at the northernmost curve of Ammon Road. If you drive by this location, there's a lot of construction going on at that site currently. This is the city of Boerne putting in their water ground storage tanks on that location. Our water tower will be constructed on the 3-acre site co-located next to the Bernie ground storage tanks. We are currently working on the engineering design for the water tower, and I believe that will be completed this year, and construction on the water tower will begin next spring or next summer. Now, to support water for this water tower, we are going to use GBRA or Canyon Lake as our water source for the water tower. A new water line will have to be put in place along the western edge of Ammon Road between the two 90-degree turns to support the elevated storage tank. The city of Bernie will also be using this water line to support their ground storage tanks, and so we are doing a cost or splitting the cost of installing this water line between us and the city of Bernie. The new water line will be installed prior to the reconstruction of Ammon Road. Just makes sense, right? Now, the city has coordinated with SAWS to install a emergency interconnect between the SAWS water distribution lines in our cities. This will provide a backup water source for our city if we ever run into a situation where our utility cannot provide adequate water flow to our Fair Oaks Ranch residents. The emergency interconnect will be located in the area of the new Mexican restaurant, and design has already been completed, and this should be installed later this summer. We have already started the installation or the construction of an additional ground storage tank to water plant number 5. Water plant number 5 is the one at the end of Keeneland, the western end of Keeneland. Currently on this site, it has a 125,000 gallon ground storage tank, and we plan on building an additional 500,000 gallon storage tank on that site. And this will help us to meet the water demand needs supplied through GBR that we use GBRA water for throughout the city. Construction has already begun. They poured the concrete pad for this ground storage tank, I don't know, about a month ago, right before Christmas. And the contractor is now assembling the ground storage tank off-site, and I believe we'll start bringing it in later this spring with completion of this project sometime this summer. And last year we began a program to, we maintain. So we got to maintain the good things within our city. Last year we began a program to maintain our ground storage tanks. We have 5 water plants throughout the city, and we need to show them the care and concern so that they will last into the future. Last year we began that program. We continue it this year. And as part of that, all 5 ground storage tank sites get looked at each year. But one of those sites is identified to be drained, cleaned, and repaired, and then finally painted. What that ensures is long-term viability of our ground storage tanks so that we're not replacing them, but it also ensures clean drinking water to the future for the city of Fair Oaks Ranch. And talk a little quick about wastewater. The city is moving forward with a plan to upgrade our wastewater treatment plant. Currently, our plant is able to handle 300,000 gallons of wastewater a day. During the peak months, summer months, we get close to that capacity that our wastewater treatment plant can handle. And so we have designed an upgrade to that wastewater treatment plant so that it can handle up to 500,000 gallons a day. We did previously look at options to building another wastewater treatment plant somewhere else. It's expensive. Through new technologies, we have found that we can provide these upgrades to our current plant, and 500,000 gallons will meet the build-out of Fair Oaks Ranch. This will be done in 2 phases. Phase 1 is that we should see begin construction on this year, primarily focuses on the installation of larger lines and pumps to distribute the effluent, the treated water from the wastewater treatment plant and to the ponds on the Blackjack and the Live Oak golf courses. If you didn't know, all of the effluent that comes out of our wastewater treatment plant goes to the country club to water the golf courses. We'll also be looking at some odor mitigation methods installed around the headworks at the plant to limit the smell that's coming from the wastewater treatment plant. As part of this, also, we'll be decommissioning the wastewater lift station that is located at the hill, at the bottom of the hill, in the Falls subdivision. Now, the Falls subdivision is the one that is directly beside the number 1 tee on the Blackjack course. This lift station has continuously had significant issues in operation due to the location, and it creates a lot of noise for the residents that live there. Our maintenance crews are out there making repairs on it, I don't know, maybe once a week. We're going to decommission it, take it offline, and they will put in a new gravity line that will take the wastewater from this area. The new gravity line will cross the 1st and the 18th fairways of the Blackjack course, so you may see that construction. And the gravity line ultimately connects with the current wastewater line that is along Battle Intense Road. With the construction, it'll be done in conjunction with the wastewater treatment plant upgrades, and I plan on seeing, I would anticipate seeing this construction sometime this year. Now, stormwater management. We did see the completion of the Tivoli Way drainage project completed this year. This was our highest priority stormwater issue due to the flooding of houses in the Fountain subdivision. Since completion of this project, we have had 2 major rains. This project worked as designed and routed the stormwater around the subdivision and not through it. One of our council members, Keith Roden, lives in that subdivision, but we also talked to many of the residents that were in there, and they gave us the thumbs up that they had not experienced this type of drainage within that area. Another drainage area that the city is working on is the drainage culvert that runs through the Chartwell neighborhood. During rain events, this culvert experiences significant velocity of drainage and is creating erosion issues along that drainage culvert and into the residential properties. We have probably tried to do some minor fixes to this, but they have all failed and washed away. And so now we have a thoroughly designed project which should be completed later this summer. And earlier this year, we installed the halt gate systems on Rolling Acres, and this is at the location where Rolling Acre crosses over the Post Oak Creek. And this is an automated system. It's called HALT for High Water Alert Life-Saving Technologies, and it identifies the rapidly rising water in the Post Oak Creek, and at a point automatically closes the gates or lowers the gates, closing the road. It also signifies immediately to our staff that the road closure has happened. We have had to do some testing of this, so you may have seen that we've had to close off Rolling Acres for short time periods as part of testing, but it's all to ensure that the HALT system operates effectively before we have our next big rain. And for other utilities not related to the city, well, related to our city, but not operated by our city staff, GVTC just completed a big operation of installing fiber optic cable around the city, really encompassed the middle portion of our city, and they are in the final stages really of just cleaning up the roads as part of this operation. This should provide high-speed fiber optic networks to all residents within our city now. And then CPS has had some major projects going on around the city also. They had to relocate power lines that were along Dietz Elkhorn for its reconstruction. And we also had some major power outages that created power issues throughout the city. I'd like to give kudos to CPS for their response to our city in the repairs that they've made as part of this. One call when we let them know, and they are generally out here within an hour getting our power turned back on. We did have a major power failure, I think it was August 25th or 28th of this year, where we lost power in the middle of our city for some time period, 5 to 8 hours. And this caused significant power problems within the city. CVS replaced the entire power line along the Pimlico Lane as part of this. And there was an immediate response to get this power line replaced. Also, they've been in the process of replacing the power line within Raintree Woods, and I believe they're almost completed with that project. Now, operational excellence is the last of the 5 core priorities, and operational excellence truly focuses on services that our city provides to our residents. We are now over 1 year into our contract with Frontier Waste. This transition to the new company has had some challenges, but mostly I believe these challenges are due to our understanding of how the Frontier services are provided to our residents. Overall, Frontier Waste has done an exceptional job meeting our requirements, and their customer service has really been extraordinary to work with. Some of the confusion that comes with Frontier Waste is in bulk and brush pickup. Residents can schedule a bulk trash pickup every month. Every resident can schedule it every month. But every resident only gets 2 brush pickups in a year. Both must be scheduled with Frontier Waste by calling their customer service. To schedule, you must call Frontier Waste prior to the last full week of the month so that they can put it into their plan and identify the drivers and the trucks that they need to come pick up bulk and brush pickup. So you call prior to the last full week, and then Frontier will pick up bulk and brush every month in the last full week of the month. That's the only week that they pick up. Call prior to that week, and they'll pick up the last full week. If we understand how the process works, I think it will reduce some of the confusion that we have with working with Frontier. Now, our city continues to operate an oak wilt program, and we encourage residents, we want to treat our oak trees that are being impacted by oak wilt. And as part of our oak wilt program, we will provide a grant up to $1,500 to cover half the service for treating oak wilt on your properties. The city has allocated money for this as part of our budget each year, and the Fair Oaks Ranch Homeowners Association made a contribution of $10,000 this year to that fund. If you are considering treatment of your oak trees and are interested in utilizing this grant program, I recommend contacting our environmental officer prior to working on the details for your treatment. Let her explain the requirements and what needs to be done so that you can do it in accordance with which makes you eligible for the grant program. Additionally, I just want to pass on that we work closely with the Texas A&M Forestry Service as part of combating oak wilt within our communities. They are very responsive to our neighborhoods and to individuals. And if you'd like to know information or are concerned about oak wilt around your community, please get a hold of our environmental officer, and we can also contact this representative from the Texas A&M Forestry Service to come out and do a survey of oak wilt within our area. She is very good. Now, the city has worked to increase our capability to provide effective communications on city operations to our residents. I truly believe that the amount of communications that we completed this year was a significant increase from last year and a significant increase from years before that. Additionally, the city's website has continued to be updated and provides a thorough resource of information available to our residents. Our city's communication officer continues to look for additional ways that we can be effective in those communications to our residents. If you have ideas, please let us know and we'll look at them. If you identify better ways that we can communicate with you. We did complete the construction of the gateway feature this year. I've gotten lots of compliments. It adds a added value as you enter our city and coming down the parkway. I will add to that that we did have a vehicle that ran into the gateway feature earlier this year. And the good news with that is that no one was hurt. The repairs were covered by insurance, and the repairs have already been completed, and it is back in its original form. The last item that I want to cover tonight is this year, the 4th of July, is our 250th celebration of our nation's independence. And the city plans on doing another celebration at the Country Club this year on the 4th. It's on a Saturday. I ask everyone, please put this on your calendar. Tell your friends, bring your family, come out and enjoy a nice evening of activities and enjoy the fireworks with the city. I went long, and I apologize. I'll get reprimanded by Jim Williams later. Sorry, Jim. But tonight's presentation, and I did cover a lot of topics, was designed to provide you with an overview of the work that is being conducted in and around our city. It also shows what those property tax dollar revenues are being utilized for, which a lot of what I talked about tonight was the projects that really are needed for the future of Fair Oaks Ranch, maintaining that character of what we want as part of our city. There are additional accomplishments and things that I did not cover, and as I mentioned earlier, if you're looking for additional information, we'd be glad to provide that. Council, myself, and staff will be here after we finish, although I went late, so you're probably ready to get out of here. But we're always here to listen, assist, and provide you the information that you're looking for. Serving the residents of Fair Oaks Ranch has truly been an honor and a responsibility that we all take very seriously. I would like to extend my thanks to those who made tonight's event possible. Jim, give a wave so everybody knows who you are. Jim Williams, our assistant city manager, and honestly did a lot of the heavy lifting to make tonight's event happen, so thank you, Jim. Casey Parker, our city communications officer, he's probably back up here working the communications. Our city's maintenance team that's probably standing by right now out in the lobby ready to take this apart. I'd like to thank Spring Creek United Methodist Church for allowing us to use the facility. And it was the Roost Restaurant that's located at I-10 and Fair Oaks Parkway, and they provided the meals for tonight's event. So when you talk about the state of the city, what is the state of our city? And I just stepped back and I just thought about it. It's a great place to live in. That is the state of our city. We are focused on the challenges that face us today to operate a city government that is responsive to its residents while ensuring that we keep Fair Oaks Ranch a place where we all want to continue to live in. So thank you all for joining us here tonight. I apologize again for going long, and bear with me. As far as I could tell, everybody kept their eyes open for the entire time period. But thank you all for joining us, and have a safe evening and a warm weekend. Thank you all.